Aiden.
I'm Brian.
I'm Owen.
And I'm Brandon, and welcome to Decolonization in India. Today we'll be diving into a huge topic of decolonization with a focus of India's independent movement. We'll be discussing how India came to be colonized, the key figures in the fight for freedom, and the lasting impact of colonial rule. So let's get started.
So what exactly is decolonization? It is the process in which colonies gain political, economic, and cultural independence from a colonial power.
India's colonization by Britain began in 1757 when the British East India Company established a stronghold in the region. Through this, Britain not only took control of trade, but also built a powerful military presence and began to shape the political landscape of India. Fast forward to 1858, after the Indian Rebellion and the British Crown took direct control from the East India Company, marking the start of formal British rule. This period of colonization lasted nearly 2 centuries until India finally gained its independence in 1947, breaking free from British control and starting a new chapter in its history.
India's independence leaders were one of the most influential leaders throughout history. However, one leader stands out as the most infamous and influential leader of them all. Mahatma Gandhi first came into power as a leader by forming the National Indian Congress. Then, in 1906, Gandhi organized his first campaign of Satyagraha, or mass civil disobedience, which gained massive cooperation among the Indian society. Besides Mahatma Gandhi, there were many other important independence leaders in India, like Jawaharlal Nehru, who also became the first prime minister of the new independent India. He began his independence fighting once he joined the Indian National Congress, and by 1928 he was elected president of the Congress and seen as Gandhi's successor.
India's push for freedom spanned nearly 90 years ago. The movement really took shape in 1930 and 1940s. And even though Gandhi's nonviolent approach was central, the road to independence had its fair share of challenges. After years of protests and negotiations, India broke free from the British rule on August 15, 1947. It was a momentous day, but also one that came after decades of struggle.
One interesting thing about India's decolonization is that the decolonization was way easier than it could have been, since Britain was depleted of their resources because of World War II. Similarly, since during World War II, Britain heavily relied on India for resources and soldiers, which weakened their control. Finally, Japanese forces fought alongside the INA against Britain forces.
All of the information from this podcast came from History.com, Britannica, and BBC.
As you can see, India's independence journey was not easy. For 2 centuries, Indians had to struggle and fight for their freedom. People such as Mahatma Gandhi helped create the nation that India is today.
Thank you for tuning into our podcast. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new.